Hi guys. Okay, so I am here today with just a play video really, and I have my new Timmy Holtz media mat. It's not a media mat, it's well, the new glass mat anyway. And then I have I think this is a media mat. Yeah, this is what you would typically find on the side of the black glass mat, because the black glass mat has that section at the side here that has the little squares in for your inks and things. And there's a section where you can put that on or take it off. I just bought this separate. Well, my husband bought it separate. My mum bought me the glass mat for my birthday. My birthday is not till next month, but my mum bought me the glass mat for my birthday, and Steve bought me this mat, the big mat, and some media grip as well to go along with it. Also for my birthday, I'm spoiled, I get everything early. Yeah, so today we're just going to get messy and have a play basically. I'm going to do some ink spraying and ink smooshing, and because I don't really have much place to dry to put these to dry them off, I will be using the heat gun. Yeah, so I'm just using, I don't even know what type of card stock this is. All I know is it's very thick. I think it is some kind of maybe watercolour cardstock or something, because it does have a bit of a grain on it. But yeah, so I figured this would soak up a lot better than just normal printer paper. So yeah, I don't know why it's in two piles. It's just, you know, I think one bit of it's smaller than the other. I did a video on these before. I got these when we were on holiday last. Already in packages, already cut up. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly take you through my inks. The next video I will probably do with my Oxide sprays. Okay, so next to me I have a 3-tier paper rack with these trays that you just push in and out, and they are full of ink. It's just awesome. It's to the side of me. Okay, so obviously I've got paper punches there that I use the most. That's just cheap ink. I've got archival inks here, a few there, and a distress antique linen. That one does not work. It's not really worked properly since the day that I got it, but I have recently got some antique linen distress inker, re-inker, so I will try and bring that back to life. That is an ink. It is aged mahogany. Is it just the one there? I think there's two. Yeah, this is aged mahogany. And oh no, it is just the one. They are the mini pads. Yeah, the mini ink pads. And then I have a walnut stain distress ink as well, but I'm not going to bother too much about those. Everything else in that tub and this tub here are all archival inks. Here I have a couple more archivals. They're newer to my collection. I've got Lighthouse, Potting Soil I've had for ages, and then Coastal Coral. So those two I got not long since. Yeah, so not necessarily Tim Holtz, just Ranger. Ranger archival. Then we've got good old vintage photo, and then because that one never worked properly, I got an Oxide one, which works brilliantly. It's beautiful. But yeah, so vintage photo there in the archival distress ink. Then I've got two lots of daubers here. The black ones are for the inks, the yellow ones are for the oxides, you know, because you shouldn't really mix the two. So we're not really going to focus much on that tray. But then, let's get the tray back in. But then I have two other trays. This one here kind of mimics yeah, pull the tray off. Yeah, this tray here kind of, and there goes the stamps. No, not stamps, the paper punches. Anyway, let's start again. This one here kind of mimics my archival colour scheme. I got these way before I got Oxides or anything like that because, believe it or not guys, I actually never used to ink. I just never got to grips with it. I still kind of pretty don't have the grip on it, but all said and done, I do like using them for ink smushing and things like that. So, yeah, last year, I think it was Christmas. It could have even been my birthday last year, actually. I had a splurge and I got lots of Oxides. But I got this tray is like specifically these colours, or as close to as I could get. And I've got them in kind of colour order, like red, orange, yellow, green, blues, pink and purple. So here they're the same. So barn door, spiced marmalade, fossilised amber, peeled paint, faded jeans, yeah, mermaid lagoon, picked raspberry and dusty concord. Okay, so them 6, 8 them 8 are pretty much mimicking my archival range because I just got that to begin with to see. And I do use those colours quite a lot on different projects, so I figured it would be good to have them in the spray, in the Oxides. And then I just bought random extras, so I've got iced spruce, vintage photo, aged mahogany is the newest one and I absolutely love this colour. Then we've got walnut stain, and then on the bottom one we have a few extras. So we've got fired brick, another spiced marmalade, cracked pistachio, broken china, worn lipstick, spun sugar and wilted violet, and then I've got alcohol lift ink and a few more punches there. They are just there to the right of me at ease, you know, to be able to quick grab when I'm stopped trashing the place, that is. Yeah, to be able to quickly grab. So I am going to put the bottom tray back and we're going to use the top tray first. Not that you can't mix and match anyway. But I just want to do some random like ink smushing and playing basically with Oxides. I've got my water spray bottle here. That's just a cheap mister spray, but I do have the Tim Holtz sprayer vaporizer. But probably, well, we might do. They're probably not going to use that, but we might do for the splatters. Okay, so now I've got a bigger mat. I am limited for space because I would usually put these to that side, but we're going to use this and this today, so we're limited on space. So let's just have a bit of a rejig over here and we will just pop those to that side. Over there. Okay, so to begin with, we're just going to do them on their own sort of thing. So we're going to do 2 different versions of the same technique. Okay, so we're going to do on here and on here. Alright, so let's start off with just barn door. Okay, so just smush a bit on there and then smush a bit on there. You see the difference already. And wrong spray. And then we're just going to spray, and this one will break it up, and the same here, but it's not going to really have the same effect. And then spray the paper a little bit, and then oops, just drag it through. This is going to be very messy, guys, but I love it. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one, again, oops, spray the paper first. Again, we're going to do the same, we're just going to smush it through. Okay, and then we're going to dry it off. Alright guys, so they are not perfectly dry, but they are dry now. So now we're going to kind of shift over and just a little bit more water and a little bit more, and then we're just going to do some dabbing on them. Like so. I know I'm doing it all in the same colour, we will mix colours later. And on this one we'll do some dabbing as well, but it's not going to be as different as it was before. Okay, and again let's dry that. Okay guys, they are dry now. I forgot to press record, but never mind. Alright, so they've got a bit of good stuff going on there. So now I am going to actually just go and get some, oh I've got some here, I'm going to say get some printer paper, but I've got paper here that'll do. It's the kids' paper, but it'll do. And we're just going to mop this up, because obviously I don't want to let any of it go to waste. So let's get all the good stuff. Okay. Right, we'll just leave that to one side, and then we're just going to do a bit of a clean up. Where's my towel? Where it is. That's it, we are going to do a bit of a clean up. So we'll do a bit of a clean up because we need this nice and clean for the next bit. Oh well, actually we don't, but okay, so let's pop those on, and again, as I said, I'm going to use some of this to get some splatter effect, but it needs filling up, so I'll just pinch some out of this bottle. Okay. Now, as Tim's always saying on his channel and his lives, when you're spraying, you need to really have this going into the same direction. When it curves, you need to really have it going in the same direction as your pump. So there you go, you can turn it. You have to do kind of a full rotation. So have it bended in the same direction that you're going to spray. Like that. So it's curved in the same direction, because if you curve it that way, as you're tipping it to spray, if it's pointing this way, sometimes when it's low on water, it won't get anything from here because that's the air bubble, whereas all the water's there. So yeah, I don't know if I explained that well, but there we go. Right, so we're just gonna try, I've never been really good at this bit, so we're just going to try and drip some splatters on. As I said, I've never been really good at that. That's it. Never really been too good at doing the splatty bit. And I just want to get a few little bits on and let it do its oxidizing. Okay, and then I need to scoot across the room. Without falling off the chair would be handy. Okay, and let's just take some tissue and dab to get those working. Awesome. Oh, that is so cool. I won't lie, I've never actually had one that's been this good before, so that is like music to my ears. I don't want to spray, I want to splatter. Okay. So yeah, just leave it a few minutes and then dab. Didn't leave that long enough, but oh, that is cool. There we go. It's been long enough, hasn't it? Yeah. Okay, now we're going to dry. Okay guys, so they are now dry and I love that so much. Okay, so that is the barn door. Alright, so as you can tell, I'm probably, you know, I'm just going to work my way through the rainbow here, but this next one, just for video's sake, I will do a mixture colour. Let's see if we can do a rainbow actually. I've never tried that one before, but I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to do some more of these, just like in every colour, and then I've got some ready-made things. Okay, so let's try, well, like we said, let's try a little rainbow effect. Okay, so a little bit of barn door. A little bit of spiced marmalade. Let's do it here actually as well. A little bit of barn door. A little bit of spiced marmalade. Some fossilised amber. Peeled paint. Pardon me. Some faded jeans. A little bit of, no, I'm not going to put mermaid lagoon on, let's just do the picked raspberry. And then some dusty concord. Let's get that bad boy down there, and let's get this one here. Okay, now this is possibly going to be a big mess, but awesome. That's what, well, I'm not hoping for a mess, but, you know. Looking for some interest, that's the word. Alright, so let's get another sheet of paper or two ready for the mop-up. Right, mop-up crew there. Right, so before we do anything, we need to wet these. And then we need to kind of blend a little bit, don't we? I have no idea what I'm doing here, guys, so, you know, don't shoot me. And the same here. Okay, that is looking so cool. I'm going to actually drag that through without wetting it on that one. So that is cool. Right, let's wet the paper for this one. And wow, I love that. What have we got here? Awesome. That is cool. Okay, so I've made a lovely mess on my desk here that you can't see. I'm just going to clean that up because this desktop is horrendous for not cleaning properly. I think I'm going to have to put some paper under that. I know you guys can't see it properly, but it is rather frustrating. Okay, so off that bit there, and then let's turn that there. Might get some interesting results from that later. Okay, so I'm going to leave those there, and now let's dry. Okay guys, so we've still got that lovely mess there, but we've got these two completely different ones. So this was where I dragged it through that one, and this is where we dragged it through that one. So as you can see, we've still got some of the individual colour splodges there, and this one's just a big muddy mess. But I love it. I said muddy. Muddy. Just to clarify. Yeah, so now I'm just going to pretty much come in, and we're going to do some splatterings on that, and then this one, move it around a little bit and kind of do a bit of smudging. This one's not going to really be any different. I wouldn't think, because the colours are all just making mud now. Let's dry. Okay, like, oh my god, you guys, I freaking love these. That is just awesome. I mean, it's not your typical rainbow, but wow, that is like proper rainbow grunge, is that? I love it so freaking much. I love it. As you saw through the drying process, I just went back in and did some more dabbing and stuff and scraping, but oh wow. Right, so now we need to mop this up, and then we can do some of the oxidising with the splatters. Right, so just spray this paper a little bit, and this piece here, this is only really thin paper, it's kids paper, I think it's 80G, yeah, it's just 80 GSM print paper. As I said, it's the kids paper. I've got, oh my goodness, multitudes of these pads, paper pads everywhere, obviously because they're for the grandkids. Okay, so let's see. Yep, great. Not too shabby, not bad. Cool. Alright, we'll pop them to one side as well with the other, and then we'll clean this up. Okay, all cleaned up, so let's get to doing some little splatters. As I said, I am actually no good at doing this. I have little splatters and I usually end up with big ones. I will get the technique eventually. Okay, stop now. Let it do its process, and then we can always do again. Now, I was just going to say it for obvious reasons, but I'm going to stop saying that. I say that in my videos a lot because I assume that I am broadcasting, if you will, to seasoned crafters, and obviously we know this stuff, but some of you I know are newbies, so I'm going to try my best to stop saying for obvious reasons, because you newbies won't know for obvious reasons. Okay, so the reason why we dry in between when using inks, distress inks and distress oxides is because they re-wet. When you wet them, they reactivate. So if, like you saw, if it's wet and you just put in layer after layer after layer on when it's wet, it will blend as you saw to begin with, and it makes mud eventually. If you put a little bit on, dry, put another little bit on, dry, put another little bit on, dry, blah blah blah, repeat and recycle, then it layers, which is where all these little bits are coming in, all these extra bits that you can see. As you saw in the video, when I was drying it and then dabbing it again, drying it, dabbing it again, drying it, dabbing it again, and that's where you get all these little bits, the little extras. Yeah, something that obviously I didn't know to begin with. So now I'm going to just take a paper towel and dab off some of this wet that's on. You can leave it on and dry, but I like to take it off, which is cool. Also, because I like to do this because you can see where you've got and where you haven't got. Like here, I've missed a few spaces there, so then we can just go back in and then leave it for a minute or so. I mean, you can go in and wipe it off almost immediately, but sometimes you don't get the desired effect. Wow. This is cool. And this, again, because I've sprayed water on and I'm using an oxide, these are reacting because they're all the same ink, so they're reactivating. They reactivate with water, and they are, you know, again, blending with one another in the background. So that's why you can still see a bit of pink through there and that sort of thing. The reason you get white there is because you've sprayed it wet and then you're immediately dabbing it off. So all those layers that we built up, once we've wet it and then dab it off as quick as we can, we're removing those layers. So although you still get a little bit in the background, this is what we're doing basically. We're putting it on and taking it off to get these awesome effects, which is super cool. And for those of you not in the know, I will link to some Tim Holtz. Well, I will just link to Tim Holtz's YouTube channel below in the description, and I will pop a link to a couple of individual videos of his as well, not just his channel. I'll link to his channel, but then I'll link a few videos that I watch over and over again and I always find so interesting. And I watch them over and over again because I watch it the first time and it's like, wow, that is awesome. And then later on I'll think, oh, how did he do that again? So I'll go back and I'll watch it and I'm like, I don't remember that last time. Because I find myself like, oh, I really love how he did that process, and I'm so focused on that not that I forget to watch the rest, but the rest of it doesn't really sink in because I'm still thinking in my head, that would be so cool to do. I wonder if I could do that. Oh, I need such and such a thing. And then before I know it, half a video's gone and it's like, what else did he do? I can't remember. You know, so like I said, I watch them over and over again, probably every 3 to 6 months. I'll have a binge and I watch them all again. Not necessarily in one go. But yeah, I'm just constantly watching the same videos and the same processes over and over. Also because my memory these days is absolutely rubbish. It is literally like a sieve. I just can't really retain much information these days. There's that much other stuff going on around us. But yeah, so if you leave it for a minute or so and let it do the oxidization process, then you get these lovely bits here where you've picked it up but you've still got a little bit of the ink underneath coming through. It's so cool, such a cool process. I'm rubbish at explaining this, which is why I would very much encourage you to go and check out the video links below where Tim will show you all this process and of course his products that he's using, so he can explain the ins and outs and the chemistry and stuff behind it. So and why it does what it does. But oh, I am absolutely loving these. Now, if you saw in the video where I was drying, where every now and then I turned it over and dried it from the back, it's because when your paper's wet and you dry it, it tends to curl. Paper has no memory, so if you turn it over and do it from the back, it will uncurl itself, and it's easy enough to just manipulate back to how you want it to be. Oh my goodness, guys, it could just be me, but I'm seeing a mermaid here. Are you guys seeing this? I love it when this happens. Absolutely unintentional, because you've just been watching me, but here, face, the little shell bra, and a tail. And I can, a little arm there, and I can see a mermaid. It could just be me, but I mean, it's even got eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Oh my goodness, guys, look at that. How creepy is that? How, oh my gosh, how utterly creepy is that face? This is just awesome. See, this is why I love these play processes. They're just so cool. Okay, so I'm just going to dry these now. Am I? Actually, no, I'm just going to put these to one side. I don't really need to dry them any more than they already are. It's not going to make much difference. Oh, I just love it. Look at all the colours in that. Because we've layered. Pardon me, we didn't blend, we layered on top of layers. It's just awesome. Okay, so let's pop them to one side and let's do another one. I'm loving this. Right. Sorry guys, I'm just adjusting my mat because these papers underneath here that's protecting my desk keep poking me. There we go. Okay, and then you end up with some very interesting tissues as well. Although I'm just going to throw them in the bin. That was just the mop-up sheet before I completely wiped everything off. So as you can see, it's a bit muddy, but that's how everything goes in the end. But you can still see colours coming through. So we'll keep that to one side. Okay, so what colours should we do next? I really love that rainbow. I think let's try some darker ones. So we'll go with Vintage Photo, some aged mahogany and walnut stain. Let's try and do some real grunge. And then maybe let's throw in a bit of peeled paint. I've absolutely no idea whether these paints colours will go together. I don't know colour blending or anything like that. So if it turns to mud, it turns to mud. It's grunge. I don't care. Alright, so let's have a bit of Vintage Photo there and there. Let's do a little bit of peeled paint there and there. Then let's do a little bit of aged mahogany at this side. I'm really loving this aged mahogany. And then some walnut stain, which is really grungy. Okay, and I'll swap over to this one. I'm going to spray this like crazy over here. And then just give that a mist there. Okay. And I'm not going to do anything. I will break this up a little bit. So there's not very much harsh lines. But I'm not going to blend them together like I have been doing. These don't really have harsh lines, but again, I will just go through those like so. Okay, it's got a bit of a harsh line there, we don't want that. Yep, that'll do. And then some more paper. It definitely helps depending which paper you're using, because some paper is more absorbent than others. Porous, that's the word, but again, absorbent. And you know what, we're going to just do some dry. Let's just literally put it on dry and see what happens, but we will layer the process. Okay, so just give it a minute to soak in and pull off. Oh wow, I like that. Cool. Proper grunge. Oops. Grunge-tastic. Okay, let's dry. Wow guys, not quite as muddy as I expected it to be. I am loving the red, the aged mahogany in this. I really am. I'm loving how that's coming through. I mean, it is grungy. I love the grunge, don't get me wrong. But, wow. Yeah. Awesome. So, of course, we just had the barn door. And then we ended up with this fabulous grunge. I'm not going to do the spritzy bits on this. Yeah, but I'm super happy with that. But I think we need to add some more onto here now. As I was saying about layering, then these are dry, so let's do that. Let's layer up on them. So let's layer up in colours, in a rainbow colour, and see what we get. So a little bit of spiced marmalade going on there, and yeah, so let's see what we can get out of it. You see, the different surfaces make different patterns, obviously, because this is more smooth, this is more bobbly, so you're going to get more dots and dabs out of that than you will out of this. And I'm going to swap over, because that's the one where we smushed, that's the one where we dabbed. So this one we're going to dab. Now some of it will reactivate. Oh wow. Yep, some of it will start reactivating because it's oxide, but let's just see what we get. Oh, I am loving this. Trust the process, guys. That is awesome. Okay, now I am happy with that. Don't think I need any more on this, so I'm going to mop this up, because obviously we don't want to waste any of it. So let's mop some of that up with some of the others that we've been using, because why not? Okay, I haven't been drying these with the heat tool, I've just been leaving them to do their own thing. Okay, so that is super cool. Okay, let's just clean this off now, ready for the next one, which will be the fossilised amber. Although I'm not sure we need any yellow on here, but we'll layer it up as a rainbow. Okay, so let's just dry that. Okay, I'm loving this. Right, so we're going to swap back over again. So that one where we dabbed in that one, we will smush through this one, and then we will dab in that one. Different layers going on. This I can't really see making too much difference because it's red and orange and then yellow, but we'll trust the process and we'll give it a try. Okay, so again, nothing special or fancy, just the same thing. Smush it through and this, break it up, smush it through. Okay, so this one we're now gonna dab on. Again, as I said, not really much difference made there. Okay, and this one we'll dab through again. We'll try and get some in these corners that are a little bit white. Sometimes it doesn't go on as good if the paper's not wet, but let's let's do some dragging through on this one. Okay, get them edges really done. Alright, let's mop up on here. Yeah, happy. Ooh, really happy with that. Oh, forgot to do the medium mat. Let's do some on here. Okay. Clean up between layers of paint, and then you don't end up with the paints blending, mixing together. Although, don't get me wrong, the mixing on here, we want them to mix on the paper, we don't want them already mixed on the mat. We want the paper to do the process for us. Okay, so I'll just give these a dry. Okay, they are dry. I kind of don't even want to do anything to them now. I'll trust the process, I know, but I'm loving them as they are. Okay, so let's move on with some peeled paint. I love this colour. And I'm not sure now which one I think that's the one we dabbed and that's the one we smushed, so we swap them over. We smush that one, we dab that one. Okay, so same process, and I am actually going to just speed this up now and go through all the other colours, and then we'll come back at the end when it's finished. Okay guys, we are done. As you saw in the video, I didn't really use much of the Dusty Concord because it was so close to the other colours. It may just kind of started making mud. But how vibrant and awesome are these? I love them. Okay, now on these ones I do want to do the Oxide spritz. The water spritz to get it to oxidize. I think I want the spritz on that one, and I'm going to try something a little different with that one. Okay, so hold this away and just, in fact, let's just use some droplets from my hand. In that corner. And some down in this corner. Just leave that one there to just do its thing. Now, using the same one, I'm just going to turn it this way actually and mist it a little bit to kind of, now I'm going to, as you can see, all the colours in this have now reactivated, and we're going to just smush around. All the layers are now reactivated and working with each other. So I'm going to spritz the heck out of that and then just leave it for a moment to do its thing. Because that's so cool. Yeah, that's got big bits on, that I want some smaller bits. Okay, now before this starts making mud, I'm going to go in and remove some. Wow. Okay, that's nice and swirly. Take it back a bit before it makes mud. And that is just freaking awesome. It's gone from that dark to pastel colours now. Loving it. Actually, I really am loving it. Now it's stuck to my mat because it's just soaking wet through. Okay, so... Sorry guys, I just bumped you with the camera. With my head, I mean. So I am loving the pastel tone on that. So while that's doing its thing, let's just heat this a bit. Don't want to completely dry it because I still want it to do the oxidizing thing and work its magic. But that is so cool. I mean, I loved it as it was before, but yeah. Heat it from the back. Okay. That is cool. So very cool. Okay, so I'm going to swap that out for this one. And before I dab off, I am just going to warm up a little bit. Because I want some of this ink on here to move around, which the heat gun will do. Maybe even drip. Okay, now we can start taking it off. Oh, that is cool. I love that. I love this, but I love that more. That's more me than this. So I'm gonna do the same with this one as I did with that one, just not as much. Just leave it for a minute or so to let it do its thing. Oh, I really love that. Now I kind of want to put some drips in this too. Alright, so before this one starts making mud, let's dab some of that off, and then wet it again. I said I weren't going to do it as much as that one, but it didn't seem to be doing much. This one has been the wipe off one, the mop up one, and you know, I love this one just as much, and I'm leaving that one exactly how it is because I really love it. Okay, now like the other one, before this starts making mud, let's edit, as they call it. Go in and edit and remove some of it. Not all of it, just some of it. Okay. Let's dry this. Okay guys, I am so happy with the way these have turned out. I need to just wipe the desk down now because it's wet. Oh yeah, I am really happy with the way that these turned out. So those are the two we've been working on. That has been the mop up one, mop up crew. So I'm just going to quickly wipe over this because it is still a bit wet underneath. Okay. There we go. Nice clean mat. Okay, so just wow, guys, wow. I love it. I absolutely love them. I love how they've turned out. I really love that one too. Okay, so that was literally doing the kind of rainbow of colours, layer after layer after layer. So one colour dry, one colour dry. These were just a bit of a mismatch of everything, and then again drying in between the first ones that we did. Awesome. So what I'm going to do with these now is I'm going to just kind of pop them like this, and then I'm going to turn them over, and we're going to use my little paper trimmer, and then we're going to blindly cut them up into tags because I love my tags. So that is kind of a good length for a tag, and I like to do mine about 2 inch. Well, 1.5 would have me do, would allow, yeah, 1.5 would allow me to use my other tag punch, but let's do 2 in this instance. Okay, so I'm going to cut these up into 2 inches and keep them like that so we don't know what's what. That's not 2 inches, that's slightly more, 2 1/4, but we'll keep it. Okay, so I'm just going to whiz through these now, guys. Okay guys, that is them done. Paper trimmer struggled with a few of them because they're still a bit damp, but let's get them sorted. And obviously some are a little bit bigger because they were the end ones, so they can go over there. Let's just stack these up and in a random order, although I don't know what they look like anyway, but let's just do it in a random order, and then we can see together how cool they look as tags. Okay, so that's one pile, and I'm happy with that pile. So let's have a look at these guys. Oh my goodness, look at these, they are super cool. Okay, so we're going to use corner punches and tag punch. Okay, so let us start with this one, and we'll use that. Oh yeah, that one just cuts holes in the top. Let's do this one. How cool is that? And then let's do this one. Yes, how cool is that? Okay, so lovely tag toppers. These are just normal ones, but different sizes. So that's a medium size. That's a small. We don't need to do the small anyway. We'll just do them both large. Thank you. Okay, so let's just cut these into tag shapes. Oh, I love that one. And we're done. Okay, so we'll just flick through these ones, but I am just going to stick to these normal tag shapes because I think it's a lot easier when you come to decorate them. But yes, so alright, so let's bring you down for this actually. Alright, wow, so we've got this one, oh, this one, awesome, this one, oh, wow, love it. See, they look so much less daunting when they're cut into tag shapes instead of a full piece. I mean, that would look so cool with mushrooms on, so would that. And then, like I said, I will turn these into tags as well. I might decorate them first before doing that. That way I can choose the topper that I want for it. So cool. Oh, I love that one. That is gorgeous. That is like my colour scheme. Loving the grunge. Grungy rainbow. Love it. Oh, wow. Lighting's a bit off. There we go. Oh, loving them. I really, really do love them. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28 tags in total out of those pieces of paper. But how awesome was that process, guys? Yeah, I just absolutely love it. Really, really love it. Okay, so I'm going to love you and leave you, and yeah. So I'm so glad you guys came along for this process. So as I said, I will love you and leave you. So take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.